go live now to Thursday Island, the Prime Minister holding a news conference.
We do need to make sure that we take the opportunity that is there from the relatively low unemployment figure across the board, sees that some opportunities can be opened up as employers look to employ people in a tight labour market, could see an opportunity for the long-term unemployed to gain placements that have found it difficult over a number of not just months but years. And I met with employment service providers last night in Brisbane who were talking about just that we need to use this opportunity that is there to make sure that those people who have been left behind are given the opportunity to get training, to get that one-on-one support as well. I think in employment services, there was a bit of change in the structures towards counting, so that what mattered was how many appointments that had been made, how many appointments and phone calls had been made or turned up to, rather than that one-on-one support that can often make a difference to getting the long-term unemployed into employment. We need to seize this opportunity, and that will be one of the agendas for the Jobs and Skills Summit, is how we maximise the opportunities for people because of the tight labour market, both to alleviate those long-term unemployment figures that apply, including to Indigenous Australians, but also that businesses require that. We need to make sure that businesses have access to skilled labour.
Fiona from Channel 9.
Hi, Prime Minister. Thank you for taking our questions. John Howard has expressed concerns about the Voice exercising a coercive influence on the government. Can I get your reaction to that? Could the government reject advice provided by the Voice?
The government, it's very clear that the government remains sovereign, and the Voice has an advisory role only. And I'd say to Mr. Howard, look at the details. Look at the comments that have been made by constitutional lawyers, former members of the High Court, who make it very clear that the Voice is simply an advisory body. It doesn't change any of the parliamentary processes which are there. And just as the apology to the stolen generations that was delayed for a long period of time, brought the nation together and strengthened the nation, a voice to Parliament enshrined in our Constitution will also strengthen the nation and bring it together.
Dana from the ABC.
Prime Minister, you said you're planning to reiterate your Garma speech while you're visiting the Torres Strait, but you did cop criticism while you were at the for not being clear there on what voice model government intended to advance, and that's been reiterated again by John Howard today. Are you going to clarify that while you're in the Torres Strait, and what's the community are you intending to visit face-to-face for discussions on the book?
Well, I don't agree with that assessment, and I don't think that was overwhelmingly the assessment of people who were at Garma.
No.
With respect to John Howard, he wasn't at Garma, and with respect to John Howard, I don't think that overwhelmingly that I would regard his government as a model for how to advance reconciliation in this country. What we need to do is to actually listen to people. I don't want this to be a top-down thing. This isn't my proposal or my structure. As I said at Garma and in countless interviews, and I've said as part of this press conference again, there's enormous detail was worked through by Marcia Langton and Tom Calma about what a structure of a voice should be. But the structure of a voice will also be legislated. It will be subject to the Parliament and subject to the determination of the House of Representatives and the Senate that is there at any particular point in time. It's not something that is my proposal. And it shouldn't be my proposal. It needs to be a proposal of the Australian people. What I've done is, and as I made clear at Gama as well, the question and the constitutional wording isn't something that are my proposal. It's something that has been worked through extensively, just like the Uluru Statement from the Heart was wording that was worked up over over half a decade at least prior to 2017. Now, since 2017, there has been 5 years of work done on structure of the voice and what it might look like. And so that detail is out there. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a very simple question which could be asked that I have put forward as a proposition on the table for people to consider, which is, should the Australian Constitution be amended to provide for an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice to Parliament, and then a recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as Australia's first people, and in recognising that, 3 points that make it clear that the Parliament is not impacted, or any of the powers of the Parliament are not impacted, by having an advisory body which could consult Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people on issues that affect them.